Hello friends! My name is Kate, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Sins of Their Bones by Laura R. Samotin. Caveat, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to pronounce the last name. If you are wanting to look her up specifically, the last name is spelled Samotin. So we're going to go with Samotin for the rest of the review, and I'm sorry if it's wrong. I'm so sorry, but we're all trying our best here. Anyway, I would like to start out by saying that this review is going to be like all of my other reviews. We'll have a reader-friendly version at the beginning, no spoilers. If you're wanting to see if you should read the book, if you're wanting a review, you're safe. I will then give a warning for my technical side of the review where there will be spoilers, and I will go into a more technical, in-depth analysis for writers who maybe want to try to learn something from this book to help them with their writing. But another little side note, I did receive a copy of this book to leave an honest review, so you guys are getting my honest opinion, even though I was gifted a book. And hopefully, I'm using a new program, so hopefully we'll have like a little picture of the book here this whole time. Pray for me that it works. We're really going to try this here. But anyway, if you're curious, The Sins of Their Bones is really about two lovers. One is a former ruler of a kingdom, and the other is the ruler that stole his throne. And though there's an entire fantasy world to delve into here, with heaven and hell and demons and all the stuff, the real story is about the two lovers. So, though this is a romantasy, it is leaning heavily on the rom part of the romantasy. Now, the whole story covers their love for each other and what happened to get them to the place that they are here. The love in the story shapes their decisions and sets the entire stage. It's the plot, it's everything. So, it's probably the reason that a lot of us got sucked into this book is the romance of it all, because the fourth wing, I know romance is exploding in the world right now, and this is no exception. But if you'd like a more in-depth, like actual synopsis of the book, go to Goodreads. This is my synopsis, okay? Now, I love that romantasy is becoming a thing. I really love that we're getting a lot of new readers into this like fantasy genre. We're bringing people over. This is like the bridge, the gateway drug for readers who maybe wanted something light. They started reading romance, and now they're really delving into like storytelling and world building and all of this stuff. And now we come to romantasy. A nice little bridge. But in The Sins of Their Bones, I have to say, again, it leaned very hard on the rom part of the romantasy. The world building was flat, there wasn't enough backstory for me, and it really mainly focused on the main two characters. Now, if you're a character lover and you want character-driven stories, then 100% this is the book for you. Not for me, though. I want plot. People complain all the time that I'm a plot person, but I'm both. I need really amazing characters, but I also want a plot to move forward. And the hardest part about this book for me was the fact that at some point, we keep repeating Dimitri's sob story about losing his lover. And that's not a spoiler, okay? From the start, we know that the two of them are separated. All I'm telling you is that it becomes a plot point, okay? Over and over, I had to hear Dimitri's sob story about losing the love of his life. Now, it kind of is needed for one key point that I will say in a minute, but otherwise it's a little overdone. Now, one of the things that I say on the positive is that the ending was not as straightforward as I anticipated. It very much was leading in one direction, but we have a nice little twist at the end to extend the story and to make it a little bit more interesting and different than something you would normally catch on a regular basis. So, if you're looking for that, be prepared. But again, with the whole Dimitri sob story and the sob story between the two characters of losing their love, the emotional payoff at the end, was it worth reading the whole story? I'm still on the fence about that. But the emotional payoff at the end, there's this one scene, okay? And I think you'll know when you get there, that you get to and you're just like, oh my God, I was. Okay, I'm hoping you get that same joy. Because after you read about the sadness and the crying and the woe is me the whole time, you kind of needed this payoff to reward you for reading countless number of chapters about how sad Dimitri is. So yes, I loved it. I think it is one of the best storytelling scenes I have seen. I will go into more details in the technical, so if you're curious about what I really mean by that, you don't mind the spoiler, stay on. But even though this was not as strong of a world as I would have liked, there was still a lot of imagination, but there was just something missing for me. I do not regret reading this book. I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I still think that it is a great book that I hope gets a lot of tractions for this debut author. I think it's a very strong debut book for Samotin. I just personally feel like there was something missing for me. Again, that might not be the case for a lot of people, but for me, I was missing something. I needed something more. I needed that oomph factor. And it could have just been because there was very little plot, very little world building, and I was looking for that depth in the story. Okay, the characters were all there. The character-driven plot, character-driven story was all there, but I was just missing more of the world, something to really connect me to the story and to make it something that I'm like, yes, I'm going to recommend this to people 100%, though I am going to recommend this book to one specific friend I have because she is a character person. I think this could be for her. But so if you're like me and you like more plot stories, you really want world building, maybe not Sinclair Bones isn't for you. But if you love romance, you're a romance reader who's looking to branch into fantasy and you don't want like hardcore, you want like softcore fantasy. If you like LGBT book stories, if you love character-driven stories, if you love this like angsty romance and pain, which I like the darker stories. If you love all of that, then give Sins on Their Bones a read. Now, I'm warning you from this point on, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read the book yet, pause it, read it, come back. But if you're looking for a technical reason as why to read the book, or you've read the book and you're looking for a technical review, then stay, because I'm going to cover the technical sides of why I did and didn't like the book. Now, one of the key things is that the characters, again, are very realistic. I don't think I said that enough in the first part of the review. They are extremely realistic. Sometimes I just wonder why. Like Josh Whedon with writing Buffy and all that stuff. And I just look at that. I'm like, how do you understand the psyche of human beings so well that you are literally like just tackling these characters as if they're living, breathing human things? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing that and I want more. So the characters here are breathing, living characters. They definitely lived in Samotin's House of Horrors for a very long time. Unlike House of Puppets, which if you watch my previous review where I was just like, it felt like a checkbox. This does not feel like a checkbox. The emotions in the characters, their wants, their desires, their feelings are extremely realistic. Okay? Now, because of that, the layering of the characters' feelings, the building it up, the emotional payoff in the story is extremely well done. The big scene that I was talking about. So essentially, we get to the end of the book. They're finally reunited. Alexei, I'm doing it again. I'm forgetting characters' names. Dmitri and his lover, Alexei, Alexis, something. The A name. I should know. It's a lead character. They finally reunite, and Alexei ends up killing Dmitri. I told you there were spoilers. Anywho, that scene is probably one of the best scenes I have ever read. And after reading that scene, it kind of made sense why I had to sit through all of the emotional turmoil and sob story of Dmitri. Because, and choosing to write the scene from Alexei's point of view was pure genius. Because we already knew in depth how Dmitri felt, what Dmitri was going to do in that room, and probably the struggle he was going to have inside. So being able to tell it from Alexei's point of view gave this depth, this emotional angst and turmoil. It felt so deeply in your bones when he killed Dmitri. And honestly, you simultaneously are able to see the anger and angst and like why he will want to kill Dmitri, but you also see the pain of him truly and deeply loving Dmitri at the same time, and how much it was purposely done as well as an accident. And if you're looking for something with such a strong emotional payoff, this is the book that you need to read, because I have never seen it well done like this ever before. And that is why I'm so glad I read the book, because honestly, especially for a debut author, to be able to tackle that and give that connection to the reader, just phenomenal. Now, a couple more things. That was the big reason to read the book from a technical perspective, but a couple more things. I honestly don't think that this book could have been done without it being two male lovers. I don't know. I don't know if that's because of how I connected to the characters originally. I can't see different personalities in them, and personalities come with sexual orientation as well. That makes up a person as well. And so it was perfectly done. Great choice in it being two male lovers. I love that this is here for the LGBTQ community, and I also love that this is a book that is well done. It wasn't just picked because of the characters. This was picked because it was also an amazing story. Also, nice little twist at the end. Like I said earlier, I liked how there was enough foreshadowing and build up in the world building to make the sharing of the souls in the same body work. And again, I should be writing the characters' names down. Okay? We're going to learn a lesson here. We are learning a lesson. Normally I write my reviews. I'm working on this new video format, and I'm going to learn to write the characters' names down. Yeah. This is my toxic trait. I don't remember characters' names, and I'm too fucking lazy to write them down. But the ability to share the body, to have the souls in the room together, in the same body together, I think was believable enough, and a great twist at the end, especially because you think all's lost when Dimitri's killed. So going over all of that, those are my main reasons to read the book. I think it's a great choice. Again, if you're a character-driven story, this is definitely the book for you. And you are probably going to love it a lot more than I did. So take my little measly little 4 stars and don't judge it. You may love it entirely. But I hope that you have a new book on your list. And this book, I forgot to say, comes out May 7th. So don't forget, friends, Sins of Their Bones by Laura R. Samotin will come out May 7th at all your local bookstores. I hope that you loved it as much as I did, and I hope that you loved this review. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to this YouTube page. I almost said podcast, because I also have a podcast, Dark Side of the Word. We have monthly book clubs, and we're also on Spotify, iTunes, and here on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe and follow, give the podcast a listen, join into a book club. And if you have your own thoughts about the Sins of Their Bones or questions, leave them below in the comments, and I'll make sure to try and respond to all of them. I'm one person, so I will try. Thanks, friends. Have an amazing day and happy reading.